Hey everybody, this is Julie with Beaded, and I have a quick tip, actually two quick tips to help you make sure that your fringe lays nice and flat and is able to move and is not too stiff. So if you're making a fringe earring, you've probably encountered this before. It can be a little hard to get the tension right on your fringe. So here is an earring in progress. And you want that fringe to have a nice sway to it. You want it to dangle nicely. You want it to be soft. And so there's a couple ways that you can achieve that or help yourself achieve that a little bit better. So first off, it's important what thread you're using. So I did this here. This is peyote for the top piece, and this is all one section. You see that that's not part of the fringe. And I wanted that to be fairly solid. I wanted that to be nice and stiff. So I used this. I used a Wildfire 0.006 thread. And so that is a heavier thread. If you look at it, you can see here, it's got nice weight to it. It's actually pretty stiff compared to perhaps like a sewing thread if you're used to something like that. And that was important so I could get that nice stable topper. But I didn't want to use this for the fringe because it would have been too stiff. My fringe would not have swayed and moved. So I switched to a Nymo. Now look at the Nymo by comparison. You see that this is really soft. It's very flexible. It's quite lightweight. So I completed the topper as one complete section. I tied it off using the heavier thread, the Wildfire, and then I switched to a Nymo when I went to do the fringe. And we have a lot of different videos showing you how to do these different techniques, showing you how to do the peyote, showing you how to do the fringe. So I'm not going to show that in this video, but I do want to share with you the quick tip here. So you see here, I'm almost to the end and I've got my fringe going. Now here's another quick tip. Don't pull too tight. So this is not tied off yet, and I didn't want to tie it off because I want to show you what will happen if you pull it really tight. So if I was to pull this tight, look at how that stiffens up. So you see how that actually just stands out there. It doesn't drape, and that's because I'm pulling it really tight. So you don't want to do that. You want it to be nice and loose. And one thing you can even do is you can take your fingernail and just stick it between a bead. If you just stick it between a bead, that will create just a little bit of a gap so that you don't have that really stiff appearance. So those are my two quick tips: is switch your thread to a lighter weight thread for the fringe like a Nymo, and then don't pull your thread too tight. Make sure that it can move and sway, and if you need to, you can double check that it's not too tight by just sticking your nail right between a bead. Make sure that there is some type of little gap in there. You don't want too much of a gap that it hangs below your topper, of course, but you do want, you see here, you see there's just a little bit of a gap there, and you need that. You need that little bit of breathing room for your threads to be able to sway and move. So that is my quick tips, I should say, for getting your fringe to lay nicely. I'll have another tutorial showing you how to do the topper on this earring here. You can see how we attach that earring hook. And then I'm gonna have even another tutorial showing you the design process on how you can make your own color block modern fringe earring.